Hello? Audio? Hello? Audio? Okay, I guess we're live. I don't really know. I guess we can always connect to YouTube and check it out. We're testing out the SRT. So let me pull up audio, guys. Just kind of a little bit of a test. I guess we can always connect to YouTube and check it out. We're testing out the SRT. So let me pull up audio, guys. Just kind of a little bit of a test. Okay, well, I guess audio is fine. Actually, you know what? I don't think we can do that. Not now. All right, guys, what we're going to be doing today, just want to kind of live stream this. And we are looking at the live stream chat at the same time, at least somewhat. What I want to do is actually minimize. Open. Hang on, guys, just bear with me. Damn, my stomach hurts. All right, what we're going to be doing right now is I should have removed that radar overlay. I'm going to remove my console in here. I had some water damage going on with my carpet, so I got to fix this now because I didn't set my battery up correctly whenever I ran the cables into the cab. Oh well, it's not too hard of a fix. I need to actually get some sprays from town at some point. Could have done that tonight, but I didn't. check stream health here. Looks okay. Honestly, for SRT, it doesn't look the worst. How's everyone's night going so far? Anything? You know what? It might help though is if we go into settings here. I guess it would be me. And then we can, there's some tags, I guess. I think that should be good. We can go back to YouTube now. Okay, it looks like the server dropped me for a minute. Let me check up it here. Oh, it did SRT things. So, SRT is really good for unstable networks, by the way. I'm actually going to open up these metal doors up just a little bit more. So, hopefully I get some more Wi-Fi in here, because the router is pretty far away from the computer. And even if I threw Starlink up right now, it just would not be that ideal of a condition. At least for Starlink. So yeah, I got a bunch of crap going on in here. What I might actually do is move it over just a hair. How's it already 10:30? Dude, this is soaked. Like, wow, is this wet? Yeah, I gotta remove my console out of here, so that's gonna be fun. So I gotta go around and pop the hood and pull the 50 amp fuse that goes to my console here. Guys, if you donate, that helps me build this vehicle out. Right now we're working on getting a 250 amp alternator, and if you look at the prices for alternators, at least in that performance range, not cheap. And it's quite vital. We have a new Starlink dish coming, or not coming, it's already here. To help improve the stream. I might drop in and out because I'm still on the house Wi-Fi, and we're a good maybe 1,000 plus feet from the house, at least from the router. So just letting you guys know, it's not going to be the prettiest quality, but SRT should do its job, at least with this low of a budget. because we're only sending at like 3.5 to 4,000 kilobytes per second. So we're going to prepare this vehicle for 2026 season, and it should be relatively active as we'll be moving out to Edmond. And there goes my pliers, or not my pliers, my cutter to cut cable ties and stuff with. So, yeah. I gotta remove my bracket here. I should sandblast this and put a nice black powder coat on it just to make it nice and pretty. It wouldn't be too hard. I got a sandblasting station over that way and an oven to stick it in. So I need to pull this trim out. At this time, I'm just going to show you guys here. I couldn't find my quick mount, so I just removed my quick mount off of this so I could do quick releases, but I was like, you know, whatever. So as you guys can see down into the vehicle, you know, there's nothing in here, and that's because we had a water leak off on this corner on the passenger side where I had some cables running into the vehicle. So that caused some issues, and so now we're fixing those issues. So a little note to self. So the console that's right here, I'm going to be pulling it out, but I got to pull the 50 amps fuse from it real quick before I start touching those wires inside. Because there's a fuse panel that I've got for it, primarily to protect my equipment, you know, if something shorts. And this is the fuse. I don't know if this is going to focus or not. Yeah, here's the fuse that I'm running. It's just a 50 amp fuse. They have some bigger ones, but honestly 50 amps is more than enough for me for right now. I'll need to do some more calculations as we got a version 4 standard, and I'm just, in a couple more days we'll have a few more mounts for it, so we can actually get it mounted in and I can be able to put my vehicle back together. So what we're going to need is a drill. I'm actually going to go replace the battery on this real quick because I've had it for the past 3 days. Yeah, the battery definitely needs to be replaced on it. God, those boxes are really weird. Battery charger. Excuse me. Whew. Where'd my drill go off to? I must have dropped it over here. Yeah. Trying to ship off my Mini, and so I bought the Starlink Mini. Didn't perform the way I wanted it to. I sent it back, supposed to, and it ended up just coming right back to me. I'll wait a few days. It gets lost in the mail, even up here, even though I shipped it off. So I can get a refund, because I only spent $280 on the standard, while I only spent $250 on the Mini. So, going the upgrade for the Mini to the standard, honestly, it was like $88. Let's see here. I think I'm spending like $130 extra to go from the Mini to the standard size Starlink dish. So that'd be pretty nice to have. I gotta grab a tool for that. As many times as I change these bits, I sure do need it. just a little bigger. Honestly, I'm surprised the way that the SRT is performing. It's performing relatively well. Oh, I can't get it in there now. Okay, I gotta take a Phillips and just loosen those. I had dinner a while ago and it's starting to haunt me, so that's always fun. Okay, that's cool too. I guess you can just disconnect. Okay, that's the right size socket. Really? Thank you. Thank you. Turn these on off. Grab you. Put you on off. I need a bigger terminal block. That is for sure. Just to kind of help spread out my cables a little bit so that way they're not all cluttered up together. I mean, it's fine. It's just a little small because I'd like to have fuses for everything. Cause there's a lot of stuff that goes on in here. You know, we got cell phone amplifiers, a switch where that way I can turn on or off my Starlink satellite. We got 3 radios. We got light controllers. We have inverters and all kinds of stuff. You know, all the good stuff going on in here. So now that our leads are 4-gauge leads that go to my field here are taken on out, we can actually go ahead and I don't even know where my little thing went off to. Well, that's just leveling. You guys are quiet in the chat. That's okay. We'll pull this console out here so that way I can undo everything on the bottom of it. I didn't make an access door when I built it, but you know, that's okay too. Is this what I was using? Yeah, this thing's rusted. Yep. Your console's really easy to take on out, especially when you don't have any seats in here besides the driver's seat. It's pretty nice. I do got one cable I got to worry about, but I don't remember which cable it is. I think it's just the inverter. So that'd be this 10-gauge wire. So we'll just undo the 10-gauge. Not that bad. I undid this earlier this year because I had a weird issue going on with this electrical box here. Now, why was it doing that? I have absolutely no idea. But it was still getting voltage even if I pulled the fuses. But I took it all apart and disconnected one of the daughter boards that were in it. And it went away, the problem. But I mean, it's like a teeny tiny, I don't know, it was like basically like a 64 gauge wire. I mean, it was just enough to allow voltage through. Even though it wasn't like high voltage, you know. It's still voltage. Oh, wow, that is a tiny little thing we got going on here. Let's see here, chat. What are you guys saying? Let's go. Hello, Jesse. Welcome into this stream. Let's see here. These are out. I got so many parts up here. It's gonna be fun putting this truck back together. Okay, well, I need my cutting tool again. Zip ties off more. You know, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut these cables, zip ties out of here, and undo these cables. Because I gotta change the way I have the path running on them, so that's why I'm just removing pretty much everything in here. You know, there's no seat, obviously. There's no back seats. Most of the carpet's been pulled up because I had a water leak issue going on. I thought I got it fixed. Clearly not. This pillar right here, the plastic trimming is removed. So, yeah, this whole thing's basically free. Free from the, pretty much everything else. I gotta move some stuff around on top as well, so that's gonna be pretty fun, but I'm gonna go around on the other side here and work on it over there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick it up in here, that way you guys can see it just a little bit better. So how's everyone's night going so far? No. Hope it's going good, everyone. Because it's already 10:45. I was gonna start the stream slightly early, and it took me a minute to get out here because I was trying to find my stupid little thing for this tripod, because I was wanting to be able to move it around and change the tilt. Just didn't work the way I wanted it to. So, oh well. Let's see. It should be good just to go ahead and pull it on across. Come on. Where is this going? That's fine. Oh, well, hell. No wonder this radio's been acting funny. It didn't have no cable connected. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think barrel jack would come that loose. Well, it's a good thing we're doing our heavy maintenance on it, that's for sure. All the other cables can come undone as well. Oh yeah, before I undo that, it has a blue piece of tape. Okay, we're good. As long as it has a blue tape, we're good. fuel. Okay, guys, hang on. Yeah, I gotta disconnect the GPS on this too. Oh yeah, I forgot it was just sitting up there. Come on. There we go. And then you got a GPS on this other side of the radio that's plugged in as well. It's right here. Okay. Come on that side. This light's charged. Alright guys, let me move you back just a moment here. Anyways, yeah, it's got like a little GPS receiver on this radio. It's kind of like an APRS thing, or if you wanted to, you can set it up where it'll send APRS beacon data and whatever other information I want to tie in with it if I wanted to. Alright, this radio is considerably free-ish. Keyword-ish. Yeah. I'm gonna be removing the light bar because it's no longer needed. I want to go out this way, but I don't think I can. Maybe. Oh. I needed to. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back around. Okay. I need to drill to undo this bracket over here, so that way I can pull it through. Oh, come on. Oh, here it is. to be honest with y'all. But, you know, can't have it all. You know, as I always say, can't have it all. But at least we can pull this phone through now, so that way I can disconnect our wires. And, yeah. I think what we're going to actually have to do is just go ahead and disconnect everything on our fuse block here. So that way we'll be able to reorganize this and redo this later, because I will definitely have to vacuum this all up again. So let me get all this shit situated here. All the screws are removed, so I'll set that right there, and I will pull this one through. And set that right there. Let's do this here. We can actually go ahead and pull this out as well. Yeah, makes sense why this radio wasn't receiving a signal though, this Midland, because I was trying to listen into the NOAA weather, nothing. Well, that's probably because it wasn't fully connected, which could definitely damage your radios. But luckily this radio primarily just listens and doesn't really transmit anything. So I guess that is a relatively good thing. Probably will end up re-drilling this hole, make it a little bit bigger, just for ease, at least, or something. I don't really quite know yet. As this thing is a bit of a booger to get things out. We'll start with the ground terminal here. There's one. If I have to redo them, that's okay. I got plenty of terminals. Maybe just a small screwdriver here. Too big, perfect. this radio console is supposed to be fully free now. It definitely isn't going to be free, is it? No. This is all freaking wrapped up in this. Well, good thing though, guys, is it lets me reorganize these cables, that's for sure. Aux cord. So, you know. Definitely worth it on the repairing side of things. Unfortunately, I'm going to need some more wire cutters to actually cut this dang thing out. Wow, what's this thing in here? It's up here, but I may have not set it back up. Question is, where did they go? Got tools back here. Tools here, tools there, tools everywhere. Guys, this thing takes a bajillion different tools to take this thing apart. That is no joke. I still don't even know where that tool I'm looking for went off to. But yeah, it's definitely going to be worth redoing this and kind of organizing this console here. I'm actually going to move my camera just a tad hair over so that way you guys can see a little bit better. Just good, deep clean, reorganizing these cables. You know, over the years as I added more onto this console, it kind of became less organized in there. It's definitely needed. That's your inverter. I just run 10 gauge wire to my inverter. Called it good. Yeah, I gotta find my wire cutter so that way I can actually cut these wires off. Not the wires, but the cable zip ties. So that way I can pull those cables out of the sleeve, because I threw them in a sleeve, just kind of clean it up. And you know, I can always put more zip ties on it. Zip ties are a relatively cheap item to get. So we'll take a look over here and see if there's anything that I might have put back in the toolbox. Not seeing it, so I don't know what I've done with it. When you get this console outside, you get a fan on the cartridge and stuff. Don't see it. Still don't see it. There is absolutely no telling where that thing went off to. It's not up there. It's not under there. It's definitely not under there. Not on me. Not under there, not there, not there. What in the heck did I do with that tool? Because, like, guys, right now I can use that tool. I don't think it's under my carpet either. tell if this cartridge has got water damage. Ew, the way it feels. I'm actually gonna have to cut that out. Yeah, some of my padding guys are gonna cut it out just because of the mold. It's not in that. Man, that is very interesting of where that the cutter went off to. I really need it. That's the only thing I can use to cut at that level. Precision. Man, I knew I didn't throw it over here. No, I didn't. I'm gonna have to check it down. Is that set the floorboard? Oh, here it is. Found it. Sitting in the chair. Been at class for half the day, and then after class, kind of went to work, trying to get this all situated. But the next live stream, guys, we'll be installing the new satellite dish and doing a little performance test on it. I looked at models for Sunday. Since I'm based here in eastern Oklahoma, I'm not going to be able to make it out there. If I had a bigger channel, sure, totally would. But I don't. And it sucks. I've would have gotten really good footage of a few tornadoes that I've seen last year. We counted 6. We saw 2 twins. There's kind of more of a QLCS, the quasi-linear convection systems. And, they're mostly rain-wrapped. And along the leading line, there's always going to be a lot of really strong winds. But, they were visible. I've had one stream, actually, that went really okay. And that's because, it was playing around. And we were streaming on a phone. I think it was on a 14 Pro or something like that. This was before I got Starlink, but right now we're just on the house Wi-Fi. We're kind of playing around with SRT just to see how it performs, especially with this kind of Wi-Fi network. Because the house is a good good ways away. We don't really have good signal out here. At that. So how's the stream, guys? How does the stream look? Like when you see like these weird glitched pixels, that's totally normal with SRT. It's because it doesn't have to recall for that packet to clean it up or anything. It just kind of goes with the flow. But anyways, this I think is all done. So I should be able to pull this sleeve off now. There we go. So switches. I couldn't find any more red wires, so one of my switches, I just kind of have to sit there and poke with the voltmeter until it gives me the positive voltage instead of negative voltage. Okay, thank you. We'll set it up on here. But actually, hang on, guys. I can tell you when our next stream will be. Amazon. There's always kind of good stuff on Amazon. Sometimes it's just straight up junk. Thursday. They've been shipped. Where are they at? Check package. I'll tell you what though, my cell phone service in here is terrible. TAB, that's going to tell me they're at Amazon. Well, that sucks. Means I won't get the package until like the evening time. Track package. It's gonna be USPS. Don't know where it's at though. Lovely. So all of our stuff will be in Thursday, except for the alternator. We really got to get that alternator because running a laptop, even though it's on silent mode. You know, it's not supposed to pull as much power. My alternator just straight up can't take it at all. Because we had the Starlink Mini running, it pulls up to 60 watts. It's not really a hard drawing power, but because we upgraded to the version 4, well, that thing's going to pull significantly more power to the Starlink Mini. But, running the laptop, the Starlink, cell phone amplifiers, and all that stuff, it's really hard on the system. Especially stuff like with having a computer, like a lot of things running all at the same time. So sometimes if you guys are watching the stream, you'll start hearing a chirp. And a few nights ago, kind of had a storm chase, not really. It was more just kind of testing out the equipment. Starlink Mini failed, and that's why the stream dropped. But also here at the house, my network power backup system failed. I didn't know the house would power up or down. The computer was fine. We expected had a really hard crash or just straight up turned off or something. No, it just had a hard crash, or not hard crash. Sorry, it just had a Wi-Fi network system failure. So we did get it pretty much fixed. Although I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to pull these because these went to the Starlink Mini. I don't think I'll have to upgrade these wires. I'll need to look at it again. I think it's like 100 watts. These wires honestly might be a little skeptical for that power. I think 150 to 200 watts on these. Wait, no, these are going to the Starlink thing. With the Starlink. What gauge are these? It's like 22, 16. Let me grab my phone. I need a calculator to tell me. I don't even know where my phone. Oh, here it is. We'll take a calculator. We'll take 16, and you times that by your voltage. So 16 times 12.4. I'm going to pull about 200 watts off of those wires, roughly. Give or take. So it should be able to handle that Starlink dish. It's just kind of, like I said, do a test with it, see how it runs. If these wires start getting warm, they'll get soft. And what we'll do, we'll just pull it off because the plug that I have it for is a 25 amp plug. So it's good for up to 25 amps. It's quite a bit of juice. I could almost run my inverter off of it because it's a 400 watt inverter. But I got 10 gauge wire going to it because, need good power. There's a lot of cable leads coming off of this, I'll tell you that. Oh yeah, because this goes to the amplifier. I don't know what to do about this. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. I was trying to find more terminals that were like this, where that way I can need to work on my radios or whatever. I can pull them off. They really are on there. Holy smokes, it's on there. Wow. There's also a lot of sharp metal shards in here for whenever I drilled the hole. I didn't feel like taking the console out because it's a lot of work. Just to drill a hole to put a switch in. I might end up buying 2 more switches or 3 more and just go ahead and finish putting switches in, except I won't have them connected to anything. They'll just be kind of there until I do need them, which it's not necessarily likely. I don't think I'm going to be putting anything too serious in here. At most, I might end up putting like a little 12-volt plug to run off of it, you know, like a little 10 amp 12-volt plug. Just so that way I can have a little bit extra juice. If I have anything that I buy that might come as extra. But yeah, I just gonna end up reorganizing all of these cables, you know, because there's a lot in here. Especially with these radios, you know, they take up a lot of cables, you know, because you got negative, you got a positive, and then you have your coax, you know. These are just kind of cheap coax. If I had a choice to put coax on here, I'd probably do LMR 400. Well, no, that's a little too much. Probably like 250 or something, you know, another thin, but not too thin. 240 is thin, but it's pretty good. Mostly because it's a solid core. Solid core does tend to perform better either way. And you can actually throw more of a load into a solid core if you guys didn't know that. So if you get like power draw issues or whatever, put a solid core on there. So you can use thinner wires with a solid core. If it's stranded, you have to use a bigger gauge of wire. So if you want to pump 1,000 watts, you can get away with that with a number 6. A number 6 solid core wire versus stranded. Stranded, you probably want like 1 aught. 1 or 2 aught, maybe 4 aught. With all of my equipment, we run 4 aught. Because 4 aught, we do about almost 2 kilowatts. Hang on, guys. I gotta go put my flock up. I got coyotes out in my field. Guys, give me a moment. I'll be right back. I don't like that. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about the wait there. You know, a farmer's got to tend to his flock of sheep when he has to. Anyway, that's my job. Take care of my lambs. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and finish this up tonight, and I guess pull these cables out, you know, or undo how I have them ran and all that good jazz, and I guess get these little shards all taken care of here as well. But yeah, the whole console is finally freed. So, yeah, guess good thing, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and, you know, they're not too hard to find. Got a little bit of metal shavings in this console I want to pull out. Alright guys, console is officially out. I got the little chunk of metal blew out as well, so show you guys really quick on what this console looks like. Here it is. We got 2 Anytones. We have the fancy 578 UV Mark. I think this is Mark II or Mark III, something like that. Mark III Plus. The UV 878 Mark II. And then we have the little Midland GMRS radio here. I primarily use this for NOAA weather alerts, as it just does a little bit better with that kind of stuff. And we have the SPL, but this guy right here, I'm taking it out because I'm pretty sure it's a controller issue, and I'm sure I could contact them, but my issue with SPL is their radios produce an enormous amount of RFI, or not the radios, I'm sorry. Their light bars produce an enormous amount of RFI, and so I don't really like to, I don't even turn it on. So I prefer just to have it removed. Maybe some other day, but you know, we don't really need light bars. They're just they're kind of their type of thing. So I'm going to find a place to set this radio console down on. But yeah, anyways guys, be sure to subscribe, you know, like the video. You know, that's always nice. Helps me out, helps everybody out. It's always greatly appreciated whenever you guys do that type of stuff. It's always greatly appreciated. And we do have links in the description if you guys are interested in, supporting me. It's always great to have people to help support me and to help support these live streams as they continue going on. We're going to pull these to a side here so that way I can vacuum up all of these metal shards that are in the vehicle itself. As you guys can see about like right in here, down the floorboard. So we'll vacuum that up really quick just to keep them from getting into our fingers because they are going to be quite sharp. So I'm going to zoom the camera out just a little bit here. We'll grab the lovely vacuum. this will have to be wiped out to get a full clean out of all of the metal. Alright. Okay. Alright, now that's what we got going on here. Definitely mold. Technically, we can actually remove this floor mat here, so that way we can give everything a good scrub. Hopefully. Actually, I think I'll just keep this floor mat because it ain't hurting anything. Keep our carpets more clean. Oh, come on. Come on. I'm just trying to push it over there. More metal spots here. Okay. Well, that can get cleaned up more later. But as of right now, I'd like to interesting mechanism that goes on down here. With this rail, because realistically, I need to be able to pull this out. Well, that's some thick padding right there. Coin. It's all kinds of shit you find underneath your carpet. Yeah, it didn't seem like it got too high. At least to my knowledge, it didn't seem like it got too high under here. It's still pretty wet and quite smelly. So just pull out as much carpet as we can, you know. It's definitely going to start molding if I didn't get a chance. It's definitely soured. Under here is my main concern because it's very wet. So getting certifying some high-powered fans at the storage facility today, absolutely nothing. So couldn't borrow something from friends or anything because I really need some good air moving on that in order to get those dried out. But that's all right. I didn't even put my thing back in the camera here. That's all right. Well, guys, it's current time is 11:45. But yeah, maybe that's why I have such weird radio and things like that issues, because I got something wet down here. Anyways, I'm just gonna take my 2x4, stick it back in here. And grab my shop fan and let it sit there and blow on it overnight. Because, well, to be honest with y'all, that's all that we can really do is just blow on it until it becomes dry. Because, I mean, there's only so much you can do. Like with the carpet here, I actually need to grab my clamp. I gotta clamp this shit down. I'll go off this here. Call it good. You know, so that way it can be lifted up where all the water and moisture can be exposed, and then that will allow me to be able to get it all nice and dry. So, note to self, make sure you guys seal your shit correctly, otherwise things like this happen. It's not going the way I want it to. It's got a foot capacity right here, bro. Carpet itself, it's dry, but underneath is what's wet, and this is what's going to take a while to get nice and dry. Because that sound dampening foam that's under here is soaked. I'll tell you what though, I really wish that I had something clamp right here, maybe. That might just do it. Ooh, this is wet. Dripping wet, brother. Dripping wet. Look at my fingers, it's sticky. Must be the pilot light. So, yeah, that's all I can do right now, guys, is let lots and lots of air blow up on it to get it dried out. And tomorrow, we'll be live again tomorrow, guys. Probably, maybe. Kind of just depends on some stuff. But I want to show you guys everything that we got going on inside of here. Let me grab the capture card here. So that way you guys can see as well. So down here we got, the carpet pulled up. Down here some cables, all this good stuff. And then back here into the back, this is where all the cables run underneath the seats and things like that. And right up here, you guys can see some stuff. The light bar up there, honestly, I'm probably going to remove it. Because, right now it's just up there for looks. It doesn't even work right now. It's nothing really wrong with the light bar. It's just, if it's turned on, it produces so much RFI that I can't even hear radio traffic unless it's digital. So I think it's going to be best to just remove it until I can afford a professional one, because they are genuinely nice to be if you're sitting on the side of the highway. Oklahoma state laws does say that if you cannot legally drive with amber and white lights on, or amber lights, or any flashing lights on in the state of Oklahoma, While you can have amber lights on the side of the highway, your vehicle must be in park, according to state law. And yeah, your vehicle must be in park on the side of the road in order to use your strobing lights. That is by state law. Even if torrential rainfall is going on, you can't see 3 feet in front of you. Well, you're not supposed to have them on. According to state law, it's really dumb, but I understand it, because like there's all kinds of things that can go on. It's primarily kind of a everyone's safety matter type of thing, So yeah, it sucks, but it does get the job relatively well done. But yeah, I don't necessarily want to remove it just because I do like it up there. I think I might just keep it up there and move stuff back further on the cab just a little bit more to make room. But we'll see Thursday, to be honest with y'all. Because inside the cab here, I got to build some new holes anyways. So, yeah, also the camera I'm using right now is the same exact camera that goes right there on the dash. Just so y'all know. But yeah, pretty much the same exact setup, even the same capture card, because we got to run a capture card. Come on, there we go. We got to use a capture card just to get video out into the laptop. So that's how we get video feed running into the laptop. We got the laptop running over here. House internet's way out there. So yeah. Oh, and we're technically shooting at 60 frames per second in here, but we're live streaming it to the house at 30 frames per second, and then the broadcast on YouTube is 60 frames per second. But yeah, carpet's all pulled up. This is relatively dried. I like to wait until tomorrow. But again, it's probably going to be closer to Thursday before I have any of this put back in order. Because I got seats right here. Actually, you'll see my passenger side seats right there. And on the other side of the truck, somewhere over there, I have the driver back back passenger seats. Right there, the bench. And then a bunch of side panels are throughout the shop. We got a few right there. I think there's a bunch on the other side of this truck. But yeah, I'm going to take this fan that's right here and just scoot it right here and plug it in and turn it on and let the fan blow directly on the carpet, and trying to get this piece right here all nice and just all nice and squared away, so that way it's not wet. It is soaking wet, like it's dripping water. That's how wet it is. And then this piece of carpet right here, it's still pretty wet. Not as wet as it was. Like, it was soaked. But yeah, I'm just going to have to get some stuff to kill the mold. Hopefully I don't have to replace the carpet. Because that would suck. Because I'd have to take my driver's seat and my center console out. And then I got to go find a truck to get the carpet from, possibly. It just kind of depends. I mean, I might be able to order it from the manufacturer of some kind or online if I can, and then just reinstall the carpet back into the vehicle. It's a lot of work. I did this a little over a day ago. So there was no back seats, and I was like, well, my front carpet's wet, so I'm just going to pull my passenger seat out. And my father was like, oh, it'll dry itself out. And I'm like, once it's moldy, yeah. It was soaked, so pulling everything was the right choice to make. It's just a long process of putting things back in order and making sure you get all of the teeny tiny nuts and bolts and screws all back together, and the little plastic trims all back together. But yeah, you guys can see right here is what I'm talking about. Like there's no plastic trim right now on the B pillar, like there is on the other side. Right here, but you guys can see. But yeah, I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna finish getting this fan set up on it, and we'll be live again hopefully tomorrow. I didn't really get a lot of time to work on this tonight because I had work, money to help afford for the alternator. Again, guys, the donation links are in the description. I need to raise about $450 to actually be able to afford the new alternator for the vehicle. Otherwise, I won't be able to really chase like I want to. It's either that or run the laptop because I don't know what's going on with the alternator. It has some really weird issues going on with it because like I wouldn't even have nothing being pulled that's like pulling juice. I could just have maybe my radio on, not the stereo, but the radio. It's in the console. I might have that on at most, and it will like, I'll look at voltage and it'll drop down to 9 volts and stop charging for a while. And I'll be traveling down the interstate, And so, I don't know where or why it's dropping like that randomly. I mean, it's a stock alternator. I know it can only do so much. And if you start pulling too much off of it, it'll probably weaken it and, damage the internals. So that's most likely what it is its internals are damaged. So best thing I'm going to be doing is just pulling it out. And it's going to be a bit of a buggy to pull out as well. There's a lot of plastic trimming that I got to pull out of the engine bay just to get my hands onto the alternator. And then pull all the bolts out of the alternator and then grab the tensioner and pull it over until the belt is nice and loose. And then get a pry bar of some kind to pry it directly up and carefully move it out. Because you can break the little aluminum ear tabs off on the engine block itself. It's kind of dumb the way they did it. They should have went the mounting way. Instead, they went that way, which I think is really dumb. But, yeah. The alternators get around about $450. They've gone up the price ridiculously amount. So, anyways, guys, we'll be live tomorrow. Hopefully, depending. It's not guaranteed quite if I will be live or not. Just because I got a lot of shit to fix. I gotta grab the laptop, drag it back down here, and all that goody. But as the time is coming up to 12 a.m., way past my bedtime. I'm gonna get up at 7 o'clock tomorrow, so I'll get like 6.5 hours of sleep. Not quite great, because that's pretty much what I got last night. It was about 6 hours of sleep, and I gotta get up. So, tomorrow's going to be pulling all these cables, drilling a new hole in the cab, and rerouting the cables back in, cleaning it up. We'll probably seal the passenger side off and leave actually, because it's going to be a whole new link, we already have a hole for it. We'll probably end up drilling another hole, to be honest. So, like, having 2 holes on each side of the cab, just so that way I can run my cables through. And do my caulking, stick my caulking up in it, and get it pumped up, all full of caulk. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys around on another stream. If we'll be back tomorrow, we'll most likely be back live. Most likely somewhere between 1 and 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Or Central Daylight Time, I guess. So, yeah, current time is 12 o'clock. So, anyways, again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to smash that like button and, subscribe. We're on the road to 160 subscribers. It's a decent amount, I guess. It's always cool when you guys subscribe. We're working on the storm truck here for those who are joining in, but, we're fixing to leave. So, to go take a shower and go to bed because I'm tired. And I've been standing on my feet quite a bit almost all day. But yeah, for right now, we're going to let this dry out. I'm fixing to move my shop fan over on it to let it blow out tonight. And then tomorrow, go back to class, and then come back home, put the truck back in the shop, and start working on all of the beautiful cables. So, again, guys, thank you so much for joining in, and we'll catch you guys on another live stream.